from the dark so you would know that times like these are here to show. You can do things for me and more. I got your back, just take things slow. I'll bring everyone to something.
Alrighty, hey everybody, how's it going? As always, I got the lovely Filia Noctis
Hello, my necrophiliacs.
and me, Mina.
Hello, my huntling.
And with me, I got the very special Stormy with me. Today we're not broadcasting from the shower, but you know, maybe later.
Oh.
It's me, Stormy.
It's a Stormy.
I'm
with
not
the
in the pool.
tentacles.
It's a me, a Mario.
It's a Stormy with the tentacles. I'm gonna shove them in your rectum. Yes.
You know,
Oh my
the
gosh.
the guy who eats corn and fucks Cthulhu. You know.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
You guys clearly haven't watched any of his videos to the end where he has a song about him fucking Cthulhu.
Yes, I have. But, you know, I was...
I just didn't expect it to start off that quick.
I apologize.
I thought we were going to have a couple minutes. But go ahead.
Hell no, we ain't apologizing for shit. I already told them
said
this interview was gonna be chaotic.
I said it was chaos.
That was last week was chaos, but this week is going to be cornos.
Look, he brings the cornos, I bring the chaos together. We got cornos on the cob.
Cthulhu is the chaos god, so...
Yeah, exactly. It's how he, as our Lord intended. Stream.
I have a Cthulhu plushie looking at me right now, so...
Yeah, I would have him behind me downstairs, but I am not downstairs.
Oh, you like it when Cthulhu is behind you, don't you?
Yeah,
This is
I
true.
do.
He had,
We have a Cthulhu mug above the dining room table.
Wonderful.
Stormy had a little bit of wild sex with Cthulhu and ended up getting hurt,
Yeah.
and he can no longer make it up and down the stairs right now.
Cthulhu got a little too kinky
I'm
last
not gonna
night.
go divulge
His butt's a
into-
little sore.
I'm not gonna divulge into reasons, but you know,
No reasons.
no. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you get plowed by an elder god.
I don't know if it's safe to be anywhere, honestly, Queen Dragon.
Sometimes an eldritch being, when you're having sex with an eldritch being, injuries tend to happen.
Cthulhu's not the biggest one.
Cthulhu was not listening to the safe word.
Yeah, he's not the most sensual lover.
Stormy yelled corn, and Cthulhu was like, "That means deeper."
Corn? Cthulhu yelled porn.
No, Stormy yelled corn, and Cthulhu said deeper.
No, he thought he said,
Stormy's still pulling suction cups out of his ass.
okay.
Right.
That's
Now
right,
that
I went there.
horrific incident of terror is over. How about some breakfast?
So, how we usually start, Stormy, is we ask you to introduce yourself and give us an idea about your channel and anything else you want to just tell us.
Nice. I was about to say, give the shameless plug for Stormy to get anybody who's not subscribed to Stormy, please go check him out. But I see Slippy Wendigo said you're at 197 now because he just went subscribe to you, Stormy.
Nice. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Who's this? I'm sorry.
Sleeping Wendigo.
Sleeping Wendigo.
And
Sleeping
he's got a
Wendigo.
good channel, too.
Yes, he does.
Alrighty. Regale the chat with interesting facts about the Stormy.
Okay. So hello, I am Stormy. I run the Scary Stormy channel, what was once known as the Scary Stories for the Rain channel. I do horror story narrations, as most of us do. I have recently started getting more with gameplay videos and stuff like that. I've been going for close to a year now. Time all kind of blends together for me, but I am the Cthulhu Man. I was on a previous stream with Filia, and that was one of my first streams, and forever solidified my legacy of YouTube as being the man who eats corn way more than a human should eat corn.
Yes.
Well,
But it was fun.
you know, the human body does not digest corn.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe
Well, it's
if I
the husk that the little covering of the board.
maybe if I eat enough corn, I will
Become
just
corn?
explode.
If he eats enough corn, he will explode, and he will join the corn in the corn matrix.
The,
I
the maze is not good with you.
So so
It's gonna eat my way through.
So, fun fact about Stormy, Filia, and this will take us back to a conversation we were having last night in Discord. Stormy is horrified, and absolutely horrified, of the ocean, much like we were talking about last night.
Yeah.
So
For good reason.
to the point where, and I'm not exaggerating this, if he sees that shit on TV, he gets scared.
Yeah. Me and my wife were like, and then this is not exactly my proudest moment, but me and my wife were watching Aquaman, and all the establishing shots of the ocean. When we were in the theater watching Aquaman, she would feel me literally tensing up because it is one of my most irrational fears, and you know the ocean's had it good for too long. Had it too good for too long.
See, mine's not quite that bad. I can watch, the shows about the ocean and stuff, and I like that.
Mhm.
But I don't want to be on it
Exactly. The worst
or
part is
in it.
some of my favorite creatures, like some of my favorite animals, are oceanic in nature. Like an octopus is one of my favorite animals.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Cephalopods, I love them.
They are, excuse me, they are such graceful creatures,
Yes, they
but
are.
fuck their home, you know?
Right. Dude, like literally like Stormy, or I think we've had this conversation, but orca whales and my love for them, and just the fact that they are the most brutal.
They're monsters.
They are the most brutal assholes of the ocean. They're like, oh, you're on land? Bitch, please. Freaking beats themselves, grabs the seal, just goes back into the ocean. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You literally almost killed yourself for food.
Yeah. I saw a thing about how there was a group of orcas that somebody caught footage of a group of orcas bullying a stingray by literally just going up and then smacking them out of the water with their tail, like until it stopped moving, and didn't eat it. They just did it for the sake of doing it.
Dude, they will hunt sharks. They will hunt sharks, like specifically great whites. They will hunt them. They will kill them, and then they will only eat the liver, and they will leave the rest of the shark. And it's like, what, man? Dude, orcas are literally the humans of the ocean, okay?
Yeah, sheer sport.
It's just like...
Are the only animal besides humans that eat moose.
yeah. You wouldn't think an orca is a moose's natural predator, but moose in Alaska will go into the ocean to eat the seaweed, and orcas just come in and go, mealtime, bitch. But here's the thing, like, have you guys ever seen like the one hunting pattern that they do where they all just like kind of like they just like they go up and down, up and down, up and down, and they fucking create a wave, and they literally flip over a chunk of ice that seals are on just so they can eat it with the fucking power of the ocean. I'm like, you guys are like majestic serial killers, and I love it.
Orcas, the Ted Bundys of the ocean.
But here's the funny thing. There's not one documented attack on humans in the wild.
Okay.
In the wild, orcas will not fuck with you in the wild because they don't care. You're not a threat, and you're not their food. They just go, oh look, this thing's in my way. Let's just swim around it. Yeah. Actually, let you come up and pet them. Like, well, they'll just swim in the boat. You can pet them. And I'm like, why do you kill everything else? But you're like, oh, humans, cool. I think it's because they're humans of the ocean, and they recognize us. They're like, hey, you're like me. Yeah, you're like me.
You like bullying things to death. Let's go.
You like needless violence too.
I'm the odd man out here, right? I love the ocean.
Oh no, I love the ocean too. Me, I love the ocean too. Why do you? Like that's the thing. Like I want to go on a boat and go like whale watching because I fucking love orcas that much.
Yeah.
We would go to Florida for Christmas when I was growing up, and because part of my dad's family lived in West Palm Beach, still live in West Palm Beach, and part of my mom's family lives in Miami because my mom was born in Miami, and they would have to come and get me out of the water because I would go in the water and I'd be walking in the water. It's up
That's
to
the
my
worst part
neck
of it.
and I'm still going forward.
I love swimming. Like, I love being in water, but the ocean can, do its own thing. I'm going to stick to, like, my pools and controlled situations where there is absolutely nothing. Like, we had, what was it? It's funny because it's gotten worse the older that I've gotten. Because when I was
Mine
young,
too.
I was like, I would swim in basically anything. I lived in Kentucky, as some of my stories I've gone over, which I'm currently working on a third part to the Somerset, Kentucky series. I would swim in lakes and stuff like that, and I never had issues with it. But the older that I've gotten, the more that I've been like, I don't need to be in water anymore. Water can do its thing. I'm gonna do my thing, and we're gonna just.
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
funny you said pools where
Yeah.
it's funny
I
you
can't
said pools.
swim in a pool at night unless
Yeah.
it's got all its lights on.
It's funny you say it said you swim in a pool where nothing can happen. You're lucky. You're just lucky you don't live in Florida, Stormy, where there's been where there's been like alligators in fucking pools.
Yeah. I also I won't swim in anything by myself, even if I will not swim in anything by myself because of that, because of the paranoia that I live with. That even if it's in a pool, if it's just me, I'm not going to do it. Because on the off chance that something is in there, I have more of a likelihood that it's going to get the other person in the pool and not me first. So I can
Sharks attacking in the ocean. Just pull out a knife, stab somebody in the fucking shoulder, and just swim away. He'll go after you because you're bleeding now, bitch.
Exactly.
Have you seen the video of the three bear?
I can swim in my friend Chris's pool.
Have you seen the video of 3 baby bear cubs that are in the guy's swimming pool in his backyard?
No.
That's wonderful though.
And
Yeah.
they're like, okay,
Yeah.
so how do we get them
I have.
out?
What you do is they figure out a way to get in. Don't figure out a way to get out.
Wait
You just
till
kind
Mama
of sit
come
there.
and
You
get
just
them.
let them alone.
I love the fact that they videotape that and put it up on YouTube. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, I would have videotaped it too. And I'd be like, this is adorable. But I'm not going out there because I know what happens if I go out there. Second you go out to help them, you hear, roar. I'm like, oh, fuck, back inside.
You never trust a lonely cub of anything.
No, because Mama's
never
somewhere.
Exactly. You don't see her, but she's there.
Unless it's a lion, and then it's going to be Papa.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
No,
Mama's out hunting dinner.
But I swim at night. I love swimming at night, and I will go in the ocean. I've never been scuba diving, but I'll be down for it.
My
I'm
parents.
gonna bring Stormy with me though.
My parents both scuba dive.
You should enjoy that. You should enjoy that yourself. I insist.
you're gonna wake up. Where am I? And it's gonna be like in the movie 18, where they drug freaking was it Baracus and bring him on an airplane, and you're gonna wake up and you're like, where am I? And you're like, you're on a boat, and guess what? You're going swimming. Nah, Stormy, I could never do that to you. That would be just cruel.
So your early videos did have the rain sound in the background, and what made you come up with the name Scary Stormy in the Rain or Scary Stormy?
So originally, Scary Stories for the Rain was like I said, the original name of the channel was primarily just more self-explanatory than anything because I wanted to do some scary stories, and I've always been a fan of listening to rain and whatnot and storms. That's always been, living in Kentucky, it happened a lot, and it was always a fun, because I had barely anything to do there.
Yeah.
So sometimes the only thing you have is listening to storms and rain and stuff like that, and I wanted to do scary stories to that to help set an atmosphere and a mood. I ended up changing later on to Scary Stormy because I started branching off from just stories. And I had the Among Us group that I helped set up with other horror narrators that we play on a mostly semi-weekly basis. It's been a little sporadic recently, but I started doing different games and stuff like that. I've been getting into voice acting and whatnot there. And I wanted to change that a little bit so it would help reflect and not just be the Scary Stories for the Rain. I've decided to turn that into a segment where if I'm doing a story, it's still in the Scary Stories for the Rain. Also, there was a moment when I would be trying to get a hold of people through Reddit to get permission for their stories, to read their stories on my channel. And one person, it's still to date one of my favorite encounters. They confused me for the channel Being Scared, who has like 1 million subscribers, because he also does scary stories set to rain.
Yeah.
And I told him, this was before after that I started actually posting the link to my channel, because I just said this was when I was very early on in the channel. I think at the time I had like 25 subscribers. And I asked him if I could narrate a story, and he's like, "Wow, that's awesome that you would be interested in my work. And I see that you have a bit of a following, like a big following on there. And if there was any chance that you would be able to like do a donation of like a monetary donation to use the story." And I wanted to. I would have if that was the case, because I really enjoyed the stories. But I had to stop for a second with him. I'm like, he's like, seeing as your average videos get like thousands of views, I'm like, are we looking at the same channel? I have 25 subscribers right now and barely get 5 views on my videos. I don't think I'm the same person that you're thinking. And I sent him the link to my channel, and he was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. No, you're fine. Do the story." They were so embarrassed, and I was like, "No, it's fine. Like, please, I insist. I would still insist on donating, because like I said, I really like the story." And they're like, "No, please, it's fine. I've already embarrassed myself enough." And so like that was a part of it too, because Scary Stormy comes out a little bit better. I ended up just doing that. Plus, it was my Discord name for the longest time on here, and I went with that. I've also, I don't know. I just tried to rebrand, you know.
Rebrand it.
That's how we're gonna do the rest of the interviews.
I don't think we'll keep our listeners.
Everybody would be so confused.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like talking like Blue from Blue's Clues now.
Oh, please don't.
Warrior
Oh no.
Warrior Princess Dragon Kelchner asks, "How did Stormy get into narrations on YouTube?"
He kind of just answered that.
Oh, well, the actual, like, it's funny because the actual channels that, like, got me started, weren't, like, horror narration channels. Like, I think I might have said this in a previous interview, but I can't remember. But just in case, I will go ahead and reiterate. It was the channel, r/. I don't know if anybody listens to them or not. They do, like, they do typically, like, malicious compliance, I don't work here, lady, different like more comedic sides. And I saw that he was able to post like a new video every day.
Yeah.
Like a different, like, and it's collections of stories every day.
Dark
Not just
Fluff
like one.
does
Yeah.
those, and he, I think he puts out 3 or 4 every day,
Jesus.
and I'm just like, and these are ones where he's putting the script up on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I'm lucky to get one out every week. I missed last week because I was just too busy, but I do have next week's coming. But yeah, like it was the more of the funnier stories, and I listened to a lot of creepypasta videos and stuff like that, and I always enjoyed that, and I figured I'd try my hand at something that I can do a little bit more with, because with scarier stories you have more of an opportunity to play, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes try different things with the narrations and get into more of dark voices and stuff like that, and I enjoy that.
Yeah. And yes, we've got pinned to the top is the links. I've also been putting it in every once in a while. We are trying to get him to 200.
Yeah.
And Furberry says, I will sub after I leave here.
I appreciate that very much.
Awesome.
So Stormy, go ahead, Mia.
What kind of movies do you like?
Movies are all over the place for me. It is much like mostly, your typical like fantasy, sci-fi. It's kind of all over. Just recently, I went from like, it's funny how my like taste moved around, because literally like last week I was watching Pride and Prejudice, and this week I watched Suicide Squad, and I enjoyed both of them equally. So it's like it's kind of all over the place.
So, have you seen Pride and Prejudice and Zombies?
I haven't. I never ended up watching it. I was at the time of it coming out, I was really like confused, I guess I should say.
Having seen Pride and Prejudice, you will see the link in
We have.
there.
Yeah. Because the one that I watch and really enjoy is the one with Keira Knightley. I don't know if anybody else has watched that one. It has one of those things that me with all the movies I enjoy, I like making fun of movies even if I enjoy it. Because like I love that movie to death, but there's so many choices in it that are so weird. Like there's multiple points where they do this like 1970s like grindhouse quick zoom in.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they did it.
Yeah.
But,
I remember my son, when we go to watch a movie, and my son's like, okay, Mom, you've got to be quiet. No MS3K at the movie theater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's the fun part about watching a movie.
Yeah. I've enjoyed, it's like one of the few things that I've really enjoyed being able to watch, like, especially with HBO Max, them doing like same day movies now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so nice, because me and my wife, we love watching movies together, and it's like, it's harder for us to kind of sit and enjoy the movies the same way being out in the theaters now. Like we tried, and it's just so different. Like if we're gonna watch a movie now, it's either on streaming services or we go to a drive-in where we're stuck in our own car and can shit on the movie as much as we want. You know, like we watched Godzilla vs. Kong when it came out on at our local drive-in, and it was I couldn't imagine having such like as good of a time as I did if we were in a theater, because it was just so much of like me screaming, because like whenever I was a kid, I wanted to be the guy in the Godzilla suit. That was like my dream and aspiration as a child, was to be the guy in the Godzilla suit destroying like tiny cities and shit. And like seeing the new Godzilla movies every time, it's like just fucking absolute freakouts, because I am an excitable person.
Hey Stormy,
What's up?
I would like to announce that you're now at 200.
Woo! Thank you guys. I appreciate that so much. Like each of you, all of you.
Yes.
You are all wonderful.
It's
Now
200.
Now we need to get a
It is
buffer
checked.
so that YouTube doesn't take him back down.
Yeah.
We need
We need a 10 people buffer here, guys. Come on.
Thank you so much.
I'm playing a.
My lobby for Stormy
I think
has been a
Christine
successful
Baker
lobby.
was your 200.
Yes,
And that would be
Christine
my
Baker
Chris.
Yes, that's her, Chris.
Thank you.
This is my Stormy.
Christine Baker was 200. My Chris.
My Stormy.
My Chris.
I belong to no one.
My Mia.
Pinky.
I
Fine,
claimed
it's
you
my
now.
Chris. You belong to Angus.
Actually, you belong to Goat Mia. He always calls you my singing Mia.
Yeah, he does.
But yes, thank you all so much.
I saw that and I saw that and I'm like, well, I can't let this stand.
That's
Yeah, I
That was
know.
always the weird thing about it. Like, I never expected anybody to even like listen to the stuff that I have, and it's really neat to be, here. I was just like, I'm just gonna try making some stories that I can listen to, and yada, trying to see if it's something that I actually enjoy. Maybe get some practice in doing voice work and stuff like that, and maybe 5 people will.
But you're doing it for yourself more than anybody
Exactly.
else, and I think that's what all of us do.
Mhm.
All of
I
we do.
I like your channel, Stormy. It's fucking fun.
I've been reading some really bad grammar lately, so excuse my grammar.
You're fine. If you like, if you want really bad grammar, this is another shameless plug. Me, PA, Seraphine, Miss Creepy Tales, Raven, like a bunch of people from the Among Us group. I'm currently working on another story for all of us that is basically glorified fan fiction of the narrators. It is called The Call of Corn Thulu, and it is one of those things. Like a while back, I did a story called Devil Necroribo, which was a Yu-Gi-Oh themed creepypasta.
That was a
That
good
I
one. I really enjoyed that.
Exclusively wanted to make it as poorly written as I could. And it's really easy because I suck at writing. So.
Well, I mean, I read one a couple of, I guess it's been 3 weeks now, and it was like they went through the dictionary and found every huge word to mean simple things and used those instead of just being, the sky is blue. No, the sky is the color of azure in the morning. And and I'm going, oh my gosh. Where did you learn to write?
Yeah.
Right. So Stormy, you want to hear something as a dyslexic person that was the worst thing to ever have to read in the history of ever?
What's that?
The terrible tone tingling terrifyingly through the tense and torment of the storm, which continued to lash heavily over my head.
Jesus.
Yeah, as a dyslexic person, you look at that sentence, you go, "What?"
Oh, I also see Fearsome in the chat. They are also going to be involved in that story. Hello, Fearsome.
Well, yeah, one of my really good friends, Ray Beeman, wrote a second part to one of the stories for me, and that was a line that he put in, and I was like, "Bro, why the hell do you hate me?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I said him that, he's like, I had a few drinks, and I thought I was being smart." That was his fucking reply. I was like, you know what? You're forgiven, because that reply was pretty gold.
Hey, Fearsome. Fearsome and I had a little bit of a tweeter chat this week.
Hey today, Fearsome. Hope you're doing good.
It's not Twitter anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tweeter. Tweeter. But yeah, if you guys ever, and I've said this before, if you guys ever need a voice, I'm here. I've been doing a lot of voices for Sabian lately, so.
Because that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about doing the Among Us group is I loved being able to get other channels and stuff like that together. So I'm always down to try to see.
I've had
working
Among
with
Us on my computer for about a year now, and I've never played it. My granddaughter, who is 6 years old, has played Among Us on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get you in a game, Mia, so I can stab you in the back a few times.
What if I'm stabbing you?
What if I stab everyone, including myself? I was looking over archived Among Us games that I haven't been able to edit yet to make videos for. And PA, I think I talked to you about this recently. The one where everybody was doing card swipe and I literally killed you in the room with everybody there and nobody knew.
I think I've watched some of those.
Yeah, we had I think this might have been before I started streaming them instead, but I don't know. Like I said, everything blurs together for me nowadays. But yeah, it was hilarious whenever like literally everybody's doing card swipe and there's this like running joke of first try Stormy, because every time I try to do it first with my first try, and everybody else was doing card swipe, and PA was there and I just gank right in front of everybody and then got into the crowd with everyone, but nobody was suspicious that I wasn't saying first try Stormy.
Stormy is now the reason why whenever everybody's doing the card swipe, I hang back and I wait for people to like go away. And then there was that one time that poor Raven had to do it like 90 times because his mouse wasn't working properly.
Yeah, I have that
and then
too.
you killed him right afterwards, you monster.
That was I know, yeah, he finally got it, and then I had to kill him. I was just like, I'm so proud of you. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Step.
I was like, it was too perfect of an opportunity to not do it. Like, sometimes I gotta do that. Even if I know I'm gonna get caught, I have to do it. But, yeah.
I really enjoyed playing those games with everybody. But sometimes it's just there's so many people that want to play.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in.
Exactly.
It's hard to, everybody wants to play. And if you're not one of the core people, you don't get to play.
Yeah, I'm glad that they bumped up the lobby size to where I can have more guests as opposed to just typically 2, because we had so many people that became more of a like our concise group. And that was the worst part of it is like you said, having so many people who wanted to play, but we didn't have room for anybody else to play. But
yeah, those 15
like
player lobbies.
Yeah, extra. I think it's like now 7 guest slots that we can do as opposed to like the 2. It's so much nicer there. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Oh well, maybe I'll try and play with you guys again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
because I miss it.
See, that's one of the things that my granddaughter, believe it or not, watched YouTube to watch a live action Among Us play. This family, they dressed up in colored jumpsuits, and they acted like they were playing Among Us, and I mean they had it all down to, everybody had tasks that they had to do, except of course the imposter.
Yeah.
And the imposter was going around killing people. And it was funny because there was one character, one of the kids can't read. But she knows what imposter looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And she got imposter, and she was going around killing everybody. But nobody realized it was her because she couldn't read, so how could it be her? It was funny.
It couldn't be me. I
can't read.
I'm
4 years old. I have pigtails. I mean,
Why are you trying to blame me? I am an innocent human being. I did nothing wrong. Hey, look over there! Pop!
Yeah, they were blaming mom, and they were blaming dad, and then mom and dad got killed. And
it's always a good time whenever I'm playing with these guys, and I have not done anything wrong because I'm not the imposter. I report a body, and they're like, it's PA, and then everybody for no reason votes me, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, it's a meme now. Vote PA.
Because we had to get a new proxy for Midnight when he stopped playing with us. Because Midnight was almost always like it was at least a 40% chance that it was Midnight.
Right.
But yeah, it's been very fun. I have gotten a part of such a wonderful community of people, and it was a wonderful decision that I made, and I'm really glad that I've stuck with it. Being a part of this.
That's because you're still smoking, Filia. I mean,
I know that.
We're happy to
So-
have you, Stormy, because you're awesome.
Moving on. I don't remember if I asked you this before or not. Do you believe in the paranormal? And have you ever had any paranormal experiences?
Yes, actually. I used to be a part when I lived in Kentucky. I used to be a part of the like a little group of me and my friends who would go around ghost hunting, paranormal investigations, as we like to call it, where it didn't sound so nuts. And it was one of those experiences I've retold for I guess most of it's for the woods of Somerset. We had more tame experiences. Was like the first time I had seen something that I believed to be part of the paranormal. Me and my friend, we were sitting at his house, which was at the time a trailer. And most people who've been in trailers, the layout is, you guys know what the layout is. Typically, it's a big room in the back, a couple of smaller rooms towards the middle, and your living area / kitchen in
between.
the front. Yeah, and we were sitting at his computer, looking at we were like, I think we were watching like stupid meme videos back because we were like it was early 2000s, the dumb meme videos, and drinking fucking Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel when Halo 3 came out. And
hey, Gamer Fuel is good.
It's the only Mountain Dew that I enjoy, and it's literally the only Mountain Dew that I enjoy, and I do not understand why, because like I feel like it's just Livewire. Like, like Gamer Fuel felt like it was just Livewire.
Mm-hmm.
But
The only Mountain Dew I really enjoy and I crave every now and again is the fucking orange Mountain Dew.
I think
that's Livewire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was that one.
That's the only one I every now and again I'll drink. I'm like I really like this orange Mountain Dew. I'm gonna have me some for no reason.
And we were, like I said, sitting. He was sitting in the main chair, and I was sitting sitting watching him. And I looked back, and I saw in the doorway in one of the first bedroom that you get. I saw in the doorway a figure of an outline of a man who at the time is about, like, you know, whenever we were there, I was a tiny kid, I was a scrawny kid, and then one day I decided to be Tom Hanks and big and just poof, like that. And there was a relatively large built outline that was standing in his room's doorway. And at first, I thought it was, you know, I thought it could have been somebody else there. And I look over, asking my friend if he, because I thought maybe it was his mom's boyfriend or something like that. And he said he's not there. So we look back and there's nobody there. And we grab like knives and stuff like that in the cabinet and go through the house. And nothing. Nobody was there. No break-ins. Nothing. We checked closets, under the bed, everything. And there was just that figure of a dude just standing in his doorway and just disappeared. And that was one of I think that was the first point. There was one when I was in high school. I was part of a program where we went to like college campuses, and we got to experience what college was like for the summers and stuff like that. And the dorm that we had been staying in was supposedly a hotspot for the paranormal. And I figured this out one night when I'm laying in my dorm. Like, I like to sleep up against the wall. I like to sleep up against things. And I was sleeping up against the wall, the bed, and I turn over, and sitting in the chair was another one of those shadowy figures sitting in the chair across the room from me. And I'm like looking over, like I didn't want to move too much. I didn't want to make it too known that I was awake and that I was noticing. So I'm like trying to subtly look over where my roommate is, and he's dead asleep, snoring. And I'm like, oh fuck. And it's like this thing sitting in the chair across the room is like starting to get up, and I'm like, of course this would fucking happen to me. And it stands up, and as soon as it stood up, it was gone. As soon as it fully like reached all the way standing, it was gone. And I'm like, why?
Hey, Stormy.
Mm-hmm.
I have your next paranormal investigation. You need to go investigate all them ghosts at Fuck Rock, man.
hear tales of all these ghosts out in this place called Fuck Rock, and we need to figure it out. We need to know what's going on.
That's your next story you need to write right there.
I'm walking through this facility, and I just keep hearing ghosts just like, all right, I'm going to Fuck Rock.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's, like I said, I've had a couple of stories that have been retold on the channel and whatnot that were from that time of being investigators and whatnot. And now I don't do it anymore because I just don't. I've moved since then. I'm now in Indiana, and there's not enough people around here that actually do it, unfortunately.
North or south?
Do it.
I am. That's an excellent question. I am horrible with directions.
My dad was born in
He's up.
My dad was born in Tippecanoe County, Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I didn't realize when he said Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, Battleground, Indiana. I didn't realize what that was until we actually went up there.
Yeah. There's some pretty creepy places out here, but not enough of a. I'm not gonna fucking go there by myself. And my wife is a weenie, and she won't go on anything for me. Noted, I'm a little bitch baby too, but like. Like I said, it's gotten a lot worse the older that I've gotten. I've gotten gradually more scared the older I've gotten.
You said bitch baby, and I'm just immediately just started to laugh.
No, he said that, and I don't know if you guys have ever watched Proving Demons, but in one of the episodes they were in an old nursing home that had been shut down because of bad management, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And they were walking down the hall, and he's talking, and he's saying, be careful, because these are a little bit, loose and everything. And he's not looking ahead of him where the camera is. And he turns his head, and this door closes, and he goes, ah! And he starts running in the other direction. And I'm like, well, we get to see Andrew and running in like a little bitch baby.
Yeah, we have there's ghost adventures. Like, I feel like Zach Baggins, I think is his name. Like, I always find it so funny watching that show, because he's always the kind of person that's like, oh, I'm so tough, nothing's gonna scare me, and then a brick flies across the room and he just takes off.
Proving Demons has no delusions of grandeur. He'll tell you, he wants to know, he wants to get the proof and everything, but he doesn't want to be attacked.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not worth that's
That one episode though, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That one episode though, where he apparently got that fucking axe from like the axe murderer house, propped it up on a wall, laid underneath it, and he's like, "Kill me, kill me!" I'm like, "Holy shit, dude, no!"
Jesus Christ!
Just what is fucking wrong with you right now?
And Fearsome
guarantee
says,
it.
"Wife is amazing."
Yes, she is. I love my wife very much.
I love my wife too.
I love.
I love my hubby.
Stormy. It was funny because Stormy did not see that backfiring on him at all. He's like, "Hey, everybody, say hi to my wife," and we're all like, "Hi, my wife." He did not see that backfiring at all.
Yeah, now she is everybody's wife.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Stormy, do you get a lot of time to
The
listen?
government
To
issues every citizen a bomb.
I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
nice.
It's like, is it like legal up there? Because I thought there were some places in Canada it wasn't legal.
I'm gonna be real here. I thought you said bomb, and I'm like, is it because they're so polite? Is it because they're so polite that none of them would ever use it?
Oh my goodness!
It's like here's a bomb, but everybody's so nice you'll never have to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of those Canadian police officers have some patience, man. I've seen some of those traffic stops, and I'm just like, dude, I would have had him in cuffs and on the ground by now. I mean, this is ridiculous. You're giving them way too much leniency here.
If I was a Mountie in Canada and somebody was just giving nothing, I'd just like, all right, son, you're gonna want to knock that shit off before I get those mooses up there to rape you. just the look on that person's face alone, it would be like, what? No one would expect it.
That's just, oh my goodness.
Just gotta lean in real close though, because you don't want you gotta make sure the camera can't hear you, so you gotta lean real close and just kind of whisper it in their ear. Plus, that makes it more menacing that way. Be like, hey, listen, son.
Gross.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Listen, son. I'm gonna slather your ass in honey. And I'm gonna let the bears have at you.
I'm all for, I'm all
Oh
for
goodness.
the consensual aspect of it. Let people do what they want.
Well,
Just-
it's my opinion. I'm not in your bedroom, and so I don't care what you do in it.
But can you make it consensual if it's an animal? Like, you can consent, but can the animal?
That's why I don't fuck the animals, Moral of the story is maybe we shouldn't fuck animals.
It's like,
I think you got it there.
So elder gods are okay,
Yeah, they have.
but not
But
animals.
they have
Oh, okay,
sentient.
okay.
They have sentient.
sentience.
Yeah, sentience.
Cthulhu is a sentient being. It's different.
He is a sentient being, but he is not a
Okay.
sensual being.
He's not a sensual being, but he is a sentient being.
Yeah, go after the
Also-
sister/wife for this sensual being.
Also, by the way, I meant wreck you, not rape you. My brain just said the wrong word. By the way,
Yeah, you better watch that word.
yeah, I meant wreck. That so to anybody who that offended, I apologize. I meant something completely different.
I would have to issue a retraction.
I might have to go and bleep that out or something.
Bleep it out, yeah. So like, I can just picture Mia now. Like she just takes that word and just like, and then just like censors it out, and then you hear like this like automated machine goes wrecked, and that was like, then it just continues.
Hey, I do have those sound effects from Mortal Kombat somewhere.
just like yeah. Just, instead of bleeping it out, you just cover it up like, get over here.
When I was doing edits for the radio station, everybody edited their own stuff. And so we all had things that we did with our edits, different people use different edit, they say, we had one guy did, Kyle's mom is a bitch and used all farm animals.
That's funny.
And, so mine was, mine was Invader Zim sounds. So you would either get Grr or Invader Zim.
That's funny.
So like, all of a sudden the song goes, burritos. Excuse me.
Moral of the story is, paranormal stuff.
Paranormal stuff. Yeah.
Moral story: bestiality bad. Unless it's with an eldritch being, in which case, do what you want.
It's not really a. Never mind.
or a Norse god, because Loki can turn into a horse. I mean, technically, that still counts as bestiality. So,
Zeus turned into a cow.
There's great.
Zeus fucked a tree, okay?
Well, this is true.
Zeus would have fucked linoleum tiles if he had the opportunity.
Anything and everything. We wouldn't have 90% of Greek mythology if it wasn't for Zeus keeping his pants up.
Yeah.
It's like, all this shit could have been avoided if you just kept it in your pants, bro.
It's like, dude, you've only got 4 or 5 wives. What do you need to go outside for? I mean, and they're not bad-looking wives. What is it with you and mortals?
Yeah, you have literal goddesses.
He's just kinky. And he likes to be. He likes that power play, yo.
I think he got that pretty well from Hera.
Yeah.
He's like, I can turn myself into anything, so I'm gonna make myself look like your husband.
That's my least favorite thing that Disney has ever done was make Zeus look like a loving father. That was the most inaccurate thing they have ever done.
Well, not only that, Hera was not his father. And how the hell do you use the Roman name and have everybody else as their Greek names?
Yeah.
It's like Papa Zeus, he's bullying me. Zap some lightning. Good boy, son. Good boy. No, Zeus. No. The real Zeus were like, Papa Zeus, he's bullying me. And Zeus would be a man and fight back, and then we just leave.
Yeah, that's Zeus.
Like, you got hands, don't you? Fuck off.
You're my son. Show him what you can do. You should be able to take care of him. You're my son.
You're Hercules, for fuck's sake.
You killed snakes in the crib. Oh my gosh.
An 80-foot alligator dragon moose is coming after me. And?
Point.
That sounds like a you problem, Hercules.
And it just ate Ares. And?
Ares served it next.
He was weak. Show him why you're strong. This is not how this works, Dad.
Yeah. Greek gods suck.
I won't say all Greek gods suck. I actually prefer Greek gods to a lot of the other ones, but
Odin as opposed to Zeus. Zeus is like, and then Odin's like, oh, you gonna fuck my boy? Odin just comes out with it. I'm ready to kill you now.
But the other side of that is, the Norse gods could die, and Greek gods couldn't.
I think that was one of the things that's like, I don't know. I liked the aspect there. I felt like the Norse gods were more, I don't want to say relatable. I think that's more of a reason why people are so flocked to them. Also for religious purposes for some people, but most of the time it was this aspect of they had a lot of humanity to them. you know, that it was easy to want to follow them.
Yeah.
And like I have a game that I was running for a while with some of my friends, and the concept of godhood that I ended up running in this game, it was like a supernatural type game, and almost all of the main characters were long descendants of gods. And the way I had done that was the gods in this world were at one point human, and they were one point mortals and ascended to godhood. You know, that always felt more of like the idea of the more fable aspect to godhood that I always enjoyed a lot more with most of it. Aside from, hey, they're just a god. You know?
Well, it's like I'm in a mythology group, and one of the questions we have daily, like if you want to chime in, questions. And one of them recently was, what is your favorite weather god?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to think. It's been Thor since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And like, this is before Marvel movies.
Yeah.
This is before Adventures in Babysitting. Some of you probably don't know that movie.
Yeah.
You know, this is way before all of that. If it hadn't been for Thor, I probably would have never picked up the Norse mythology books. But
Right.
I did. I get them and the Greek, and ignore the Roman.
Yeah.
The Romans just picked up everybody else's gods and said they were theirs. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they just stole everything. It's like Roman numerals. No, those are Etruscan. The Romans stole them. Anyway.
So I've decided to work on a story about a person who can see these threads, and they start freaking screwing with them and tying them to other threads and extending other people's lives while shortening others. And then the Sisters of Fate go, you know what? This guy's fucking with stuff too much. We got to come down and kill him now.
Well, I'm glad somebody remembers Adventures in Babysitting. That was a good movie, man. And the guy they got to play, quote unquote, Thor, the mechanic, he was amazing. I mean, he really looked the part. A little girl who was all up and Thor was her god, blah, 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 blah. And then she sees this guy and she's like, Thor. I'm that little girl. Except I'm almost an adult now. It was a good movie, though. That was a good movie. You remember everything. Okay, Infinite.
Infinite has been around for infinite amount of time. He remembers it all.
Wow.
Remember that time the Earth wasn't there and it just was there magically? Yeah, I was there.
I walked away and forgot to come back. Okay, Fearsome. We see how you are.
I watched the dinosaurs just poof into existence, and they were scary as hell.
Okay, furberries. You want to know the funniest thing about that? I was babysitting when that movie came out.
And you're no longer furberries. You're now fur babies, apparently, according to Mia.
So.
Well, I'm my mama's water baby, so.
Yeah. Quick idea. Quick discussion idea, real quick.
Penis.
I had a conversation at one point with one of my coworkers, and we got on the discussion of what's the word? Gods and stuff like that. And one of the things we talked about was an interesting idea he had heard about, was the idea of kind of going into a little bit of I guess Christian mythology. Was the idea that God created most things, but every now and then he would let the devil create some things to give him his own shot at creationism and everything. And we joked that the dinosaurs were made by the devil, and we got into this discussion as like the reason why they got extinct was God was like, hey, all right, I'll let you create one race, one species of stuff. And the devil's like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna make fucking alligators that are like 30 feet long. And God looked at those and was like, I can't let humans live on the same, I can't, like, humans can't exist with these things. That is a hippo that is the size of a school bus. I can't let humans be on the same world with that. And then he threw a fastball and destroyed everything.
He's like, I can't let humans be on the planet with this. Here, what I'll do is I'll destroy them, but I'll make you miniature versions of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a perfect segue to PA's favorite question.
Yeah, Stormy. What would you do in a world where alligators flew?
Where alligators flew, I would never leave my house. I would be like fucking Bo Burnham and stay inside for the rest of my life.
I'm just gonna move to. I'm just gonna. That happens. I'm just gonna find a way to get to Alaska. And be like, you might be able to fly, but can you not become icicles or alligator cubes? Huh?
You considered dying.
Yeah. Have you considered freezing to death? Because this is the scenario I posit. You freeze to death.
Me, my dad had a discussion at one point when the Dead Redemption expansion, like Undead Nightmare, came out, and there were zombie bears, and we were like, "No, I'm not gonna fucking even try."
Yeah, could you imagine if the zombie apocalypse not only came with human zombies but animal zombies? No.
Bears alone, like a bear alone is terrifying enough, but a fucking bear that has no pain filter at all and is undead, fuck that. I'll just die.
Could you imagine a pack of wolf zombies? Like, that's just not cool, man. That's just
the one thing that not many people, I saw one movie touch on this, like one zombie movie touch on it, and like, it's the idea that is going to make it to where no matter what, like, if there's any type of zombie situation at all, we are just going to die. There is nothing that we can do about it. Fucking mosquitoes. Like,
Jesus.
I've always said mosquitoes have no purpose.
Yeah, exactly. They just spread disease, and spiders will find something else to eat.
Yes, but you know what? That's another reason why spiders are good.
Yeah, I like spiders. I don't have anything against spiders anymore. I used to when I was younger, but now I understand their significance and their importance to nature as it seems. But fuck mosquitoes.
I got a whole list of them, mosquitoes, roaches, fleas, bed bugs. Like I said, I've got a whole list of them, and these are ones that are like, they really don't have any purpose. Roaches.
You drop the world's largest freaking bug bomb, but it's only designed to go after the genetic profile of like mosquitoes and bed bugs and stuff like that. Everything else is unaffected, and it's just like all these things just die out. The world is a much less awful place without these little bastards around.
Yeah, if there was ever a zombie scenario, mosquitoes would be the literal end of all. Like, because the disease that they would be able to spread is, like, you get bit by a mosquito that ate from a zombie, you're fucking dead, And one movie, one really bad zombie movie pointed it out, and I'm like, ever since then, I'm like, wow, that does suck.
Literally, right?
House of the Dead sequel. I don't know if anybody has ever seen it, but it was the sequel to House of the Dead. That was like a sci-fi original movie.
Oh,
and, yeah,
that thing.
A guy gets infected by getting bit by a mosquito. That bit a zombie, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I mean, we're here on Saturday the 14th. Speaking of movies, so yesterday was Friday the 13th. And we know there are so many movies about that, but there was only one Saturday the 14th movie. It was a comedic, very comedic horror movie that kind of sucked.
That's fair.
But it's a good laugh if anybody wants to go look it up and can get a hands on it and wants to watch a funny movie on Saturday the 14th. I mean, seriously, it was a good laugh.
Moral of the story, fuck flying alligators.
Right.
Not this year, but last year for Valentine's Day, Penny Tails Up had a all-female cast collab, and one of the stories was a female reporter who was interviewing this guy, and basically what it comes down to is this guy is the devil, and he's Lucifer and his sister is God, and they've been going back and forth on making worlds and destroying them, and they haven't figured out how to get them to not go bad. And so when they start going bad, they have to destroy him, and they're at the point where she's interviewing him, they're in the middle of destroying everybody.
Has anybody ever watched that just really awful fucking zombie movie, Warm Bodies?
Yes.
I hate it because
it's Twilight for zombies.
Yeah,
My
it's
lawyer
the
was
worst
a
part.
mosquito.
I was on. Well, I mean, lawyers are bloodsuckers, so that makes sense.
We just call those mortal vampires that aren't good to eat off of. I mean, what?
But I remember watching Warm Bodies because it was when I was working third shift at the group home, and it was just I was looking for something on TV, and that was the only thing that I could find that was like maybe halfway decent.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching this, and I'm like, this is fucking awful.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, Shaun of the Dead isn't actually.
I actually, out of the Cornetto trilogy movies, my favorite, and it's still one of my favorite movies of all time, is Hot Fuzz.
Hot
fucking love
Fuzz
that
is
movie.
good.
I love that movie.
Oh, hot your fuzz.
If you want to see an interesting twist on zombies, Cockneys versus zombies.
Versus something.
And one of my friends in England, his grandparents' backyard is used for part of the scene.
Nice.
Paul's going, that's my grandpa's backyard. They're going, oh, really? Interesting.
If you want to see a just 10 out of 10 zombie movie, watch Train to Busan. For people whoever has not seen that, a phenomenal zombie movie.
Yes.
I know more people would argue it's infected, but no, it's a very, very good movie.
What movie was it?
Train to Busan.
Nice.
It was a Korean zombie movie, and it is amazing. Like, I'm a bitch baby, and I it becomes a lot more of an emotional movie than you'd expect it to be.
Nice.
There's a movie called The Flu.
Mm.
It's a Korean movie. And when our favorite little beer bug first got out, I saw that movie and I said, this is what happens when this thing goes wrong.
Yeah.
And it goes through it's basically set around a doctor and her daughter, but you go through all of the horrors that can happen. She's working to find a cure. Her daughter gets infected. They want to kill her daughter. They think she's infected. She ends up giving her daughter the test vaccine, and it works. And
Nice.
then they want to harvest all of her daughter's blood.
Oh, Jesus. Of course they do.
So, like I said, it goes through all of those things. And it's just, yeah, it's about his time to go. But it's called The Flu. And
Well-
it is a Korean movie. But have you got any questions for us?
Me, I want to know why you are all such wonderful hosts. That is my question to you.
Because we're awesome.
I have had a wonderful time being here with you guys.
Well, thank you. And, yeah, Filia is having problems with her internet today. She can't hear much of what we're saying,
But
but she's here.
But-
in spirit.
plug time. Guys, if you want more of Scary Stormy and you would like to hear the lovely voice of Miss Creepy Tales and the sultry voice of Seraphine the Midnight Bard, Miss Creepy Tales will be having a live stream on her channel in precisely 11 minutes. Go check it out.
And I just put that in there twice. Wow, that was not good.
And
Huh.
Also, people who have been here in the chat, I appreciate each of you very much as well. You all have been lovely. And again, thank you guys for helping me get to 200. That is very, very kind of you. And
We just
I
need to
don't
ditch
know.
that buffer.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I've seen too many people that they get right at that number, and then 2 days later they're back underneath it because buffer wasn't there.
And sometimes it's not even 2 days later. Sometimes you'll hit that number. You're like, hell yeah! And 10 minutes later, you look at it and you lost 3 subs. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know that one too.
Again,
But,
thank you guys for having me. It has been a very good time.
It has been a blast, man.
It has been
I'm
a blast. We will hopefully have you back.
I would always, I'm always open to come back.
Cool.
But we must be going now because Stormy has other places to be, aka Miss Creepy Tales stream.
Don't miss
I don't
it.
want I don't want the man to be late for that.
And if you want to join the collective is for anything that you want to do that is not going to fit very well on your channel. Anything, videos or live streams. Talk to Raven, me, PA, 42, Filia, Seraphine. Who knows? I
Stop
might-
come to one of us, we'll get you all set up.
Who knows? I might do a birthday stream off of here.
Neato burrito.
But we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Yep, later guys, love you.
And remember,
Once you join the collective, you can leave nevermore.
You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity